Wait a minute. Okay, high quality foods. There we go. Now we're going to talk about high and low glycemic foods within those high quality foods here. All right, what is the glycemic index? Does anybody have an understanding of what that is? Sugar. Anybody have like experience with diabetes, or anybody who knows about the glycemic index?
Sugar.
You get a sugar rush, you feel high, right? You want to like bounce off the walls,
Crash.
and then you crash. Absolutely. Well, what was that? Hard, right? Yeah. Did you know that the glycemic index has an effect on how your body stores fat and stuff too? Not only does it have an effect on your health, but it has an effect on how your body stores fat. Okay? What happens is your body's sugar levels respond to food. That's what the glycemic index is. A high spike in in a high glycemic food is going to spike your sugar levels, right? And a low is going to do the opposite. It's the amount. Well, I don't want to get too technical on that, but so we're just going to move in so you understand what you need to know about the glycemic index. But what you really need to understand is this word here called insulin resistance and fat storage. Okay, what happens is when you spike your blood sugar, your levels, over time, your body starts to go into what's called insulin resistance. This happens every time. But then what happens is over time, you actually lower your metabolism because your body starts to get used to storing fat. There's a great book by a gentleman named Dr. Ray Strand. It's called Releasing Fat. And he goes into detail about why the glycemic foods have such an effect on your fat deposits and on your weight. So basically the gist of it all is, I'm not going to give you all the technicals, I'm just going to tell you what you need to do, and you can go look it up after if you want, but eat lower glycemic foods primarily, and you will help your body not store fat. And one of the things about the glycemic index and the way that it works is, do you know how when people get older, you hear this all the time? It's not as easy as when you were younger, Phil. Your body just, it's not the same. You just store fat more easy. It's just the way that it happens when you get older. So when I get older, I'm doomed to be out of shape. Is that what you're telling me? I don't think so. I can show you countless people who are in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s and look better than a lot of people in their 20s and 30s because they live a lifestyle of health and fitness. And what the problem is with the glycemic index when you're eating high glycemic foods is over time, that's what is really weakening your metabolism. And it's making all the food that you put in, it's making it turn more to fat. Okay, so that's why you're experiencing that primarily, and probably because you have a lot of other different habits that don't help, but that's one of the main reasons. And if you're looking to lose weight, eat lower glycemic foods. And if you're not looking to lose weight, eat lower glycemic foods because they're more healthy for you. Okay? So how do I know what's high and what's low glycemic in my food? Actually, you're going to have to get that in the email. It's in the program. I'll give you a source. Any one of you can Google it. You can find this online anywhere, different databases that will tell you about the foods. I'm going to give you some examples of food in a minute. But you can go Google it and find even more examples of low glycemic food that we don't give you here today. Okay, like I said, examples of food. Good carbohydrates. What are some good low glycemic, high quality carbohydrates? And let me just real simply explain complex carbs and simple carbs. A lot of people once believed that simple carbs were, sent from the pits of hell, and they were, just going to make everybody, overweight. That's not true. A simple carb is, yes, sugar. Glucose is a simple carb, and everyone believes that simple carbs spike your blood sugar levels through the roof, and complex carbs weren't, and that you just had to eat all complex carbs. Well, that's not true. There's plenty of good simple carbs. So here's a list of different complex and simple carbs that are good for you. Okay, sweet potatoes and yams are great complex carbs. Stone ground whole grain breads are great for you. Okay, whole grain wraps, oatmeal. The instant oatmeal is not as good as the regular old-fashioned oatmeal. I'm Italian, and when I was told that pasta was no good for me, I got pissed off. So I said, I'm going to find some good pasta. So I started eating wheat pasta and stuff, and, it was all right. I suffered through it. But my wife brought home this stuff called Barilla You guys know the brand Barilla, or whatever it's called? Plus pasta. And I ate it, and I was like, wow, this stuff tastes even better than regular pasta. And now we don't like regular pasta. We always want to eat the Barilla Plus pasta. So if you're Italian or if you just like pasta, try the Barilla Plus pasta. It's very good. Wheat pasta is one on there. Brown rice, wild rice, turnips, beans, and lentils. Okay, on the simple carbs, you got strawberries, apples, pears, watermelons, raspberries, oranges, kiwis, mangoes, melons, peaches. I can go on and on. All fruit's pretty much good for you. You know, if you want the simplest way to know what's good for you and what's bad for you, real simple. If God made it, it's good for you. If man messed it up, it's bad for you. If it comes in a box or a bag, it sucks. If it doesn't, it's good. It's pretty simple. I mean, when you really get into it, we're going to talk about that, but most of the stuff that you find packaged is not good for you because they put so many preservatives and there's all kinds of stuff that go on in that process that make it not good for you. We'll talk a little bit about the enriching and trans fats, but if it's more natural, eat it. It's good for you. You know, if it's not, limit it. Don't eat TV dinners every night, despite the fact that they may have yams in them, and it's still not that good, okay? Yes.
Phil's talking about this lifestyle. I'm a testimony because when he met me, and Pastor Mike put me on this whole new lifestyle. And
Yeah, Maris lost quite a bit of weight. What was your dress size?
24.
24, and then what did you go down to? 14. Not bad. Plus she was diabetic, and then what happened with that? And you had swollen ankles, if I remember, and she was all messed up. And she did a complete lifestyle change, and she lost a lot of weight, no insulin. Very cool. So absolutely, thank you for that, Maris. Okay, so what are bad carbs? Refined sugar. What's refined sugar? White sugar. Every time people, and if I say man-made, I'm not being sexist. I'm just referring to people. So any type of people-made things they just mess it up. They mess up the good stuff that God created for you. And when they refine sugar, it goes to these high-speed grinders and everything, and there's this whole process, and they just screw it all up. The same thing with enriched flour. Okay, and most of the things that you buy, white bread, all that stuff, is made with enriched flour. And enriched flour is not good for you. It's stripped from all the nutrients, the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants that it was supposed to have from the whole grains and everything. They take it right out because of the process. Despite all of that, that's what they shove down our throats in the grocery store every single day and almost everywhere you go. Because why? They're not out for your health. They're out for the shareholders, right? So just understand that. Packaged meals, enriched flour, and refined sugar is not good for you. Try to stay away from that stuff. It will do wonders for you if you do it. You will feel so much more energetic. You will have better levels of energy because all that stuff is also low glycemic. When you eat the good way, when you eat the way God made it, there's only a few things that God made that are high glycemic, and there's probably some benefit to them too. Anyway, like white potatoes are high glycemic, but white potatoes probably are not that bad for you because there's so many different other things in there because of the way God made them. There's vitamins in them, there's other stuff, so as long as you don't eat white potatoes 24/7, then you're probably okay. All right. Alrighty, I gotta catch up with the slides here. Good proteins. All right. Chicken breast, turkey breast, egg whites, canned tuna in water. Don't get it in the vegetable oil and stuff. All right. Flounder, tilapia, salmon. Most fish is good for you. Chicken breast, a whey protein supplement, lean cut steaks. Okay. Those are all good proteins for you. You want to stay away from non-lean proteins. You want to stay away from high-fat proteins. Animal fat is not good for you. Okay, that's the key with this. So if you're going to eat steaks, I like to have a steak sometimes. Don't eat it every day, and try to get a lean steak. All right. Okay. Good EFAs. Salmon is a great source of essential fatty acids. Non-roasted nuts and seeds, again, when people touch it, they mess things up. Avocados, olives, an EFA supplement, okay? The key with fat is to stay away from hydrogenated oils or trans fats. And that's, I love the new stuff. Lay's potato chips, no trans fats. So does that mean that Lay's potato chips you should eat, all day long? No. Okay? So just understand that. And I'm gonna make your life very easy. I know you're looking at me like, oh, how am I gonna remember this? Don't worry, I got you covered. All right?